Hi folks, Mark here from SeaWorld Earth, and today I've got a little bit of a different kind of video for you. I'm actually doing a gear review, but before we start, one thing I wanted to share with you, 3,000 subs. Woohoo! We're at the dizzying heights of 3,000 subscriptions on my YouTube channel. Awesome, very generic, never advertised. Hopefully word of mouth from you guys. But yeah, stoked. Woke up this morning, boom, 3,000 followers. Woohoo! Cool beans. Like I said, I'm going to do a gear review today, and it's more for people that are into flash photography. For the longest time I was using the Godox AD200, and when I was doing shoots outside, especially with people, I found it to be lacking obviously in power. It's not a very powerful strobe, so I've upped the flash department a little bit and I've gone with something new. At this juncture, what I'm going to say is I'm going to lay out the timelines or the different elements in the video with different timestamps so that you can jump to each different section, and I'll label those just to make it easier and simpler for you guys to navigate. So yeah, lighting, what's happening? You can see I've got a few things on my desk here, and recently I've actually been using this for a couple of months, I'd say already. I got recently a new strobe because I was looking for a new strobe. In fact, the reason why is I was on a shoot with a bodybuilder, I believe, this guy, and unfortunately the light stand that had my light on it, I didn't weigh it down like a doofus, and it went into the ocean. So a wave came along, tipped over the light stand. We were right on the shore of the ocean, and down it went. So glug glug glug, that drowned. And so what I done on that day, I went onto my favorite online location for buying new gear. I'm not going to give them a plug, but I ended up getting this baby. This is the Westcott FJ400 strobe. It is a monster. It works very, very well. It's powered by its own little lithium battery, so it is like a strobe that you can, oh, let's put it on the right way. It is a strobe that you can set up remotely. You don't need mains power, although it does run off of mains power if you want it to in the studio setting. But we're going to go through this very quickly, show you what it does, what it doesn't do, and just go through the menu system. Like I said, I've actually used this probably about 5 or 6 times now. The last shoot I done probably about a month ago with this one was a model shoot with a beautiful model. Where's she from? She's from Estonia. She's from Estonia, but she lives here in Okinawa. Her name is Trinu. So if you're watching, Trinu, thanks for that photo shoot. Here's a couple of images from that photo shoot. Pretty cool, right? It's awesome having a supermodel on call in case you need to test out a new strobe. So let's dig in. Let's look a bit closer at this beast, and we'll see all of the components that go along with it. Well, as you can see, it's very robustly made, very hard plastic, and it comes with a standard Bowens mount. The Bowens release, or the release, you have this protector here for the flash, so you just pull that down, it's spring loaded, twist that, and there you'll see the flash tube is housed inside this frosted glass cover on the front of the strobe. Okay, it does actually also have a video mode, a modeling light mode, but it's not that powerful. It's 20 watts. In fact, what I'll do in a minute is I will illuminate just myself with the modeling light, but it can't really be used as a video light because of the fan noise. Generally tends to be a little bit noisy. Aliens, they're coming to get me. Ooh. And so this is me lit only by the strobe, and I do actually have the snoot on. So this is with the snoot on and this is with the snoot off. And so this is with just this one light. It is at the moment, it's just bare bones straight from the strobe. There's no diffusion on it. So I'm going to just reach up and put one of these diffusion gels on it and see what that does. But as you can see, it's quite direct and quite harsh. There we go. So as you can see, a bit more diffusion, if that makes a huge difference or not. But the main thing is, I don't know if you can pick it up with my microphone here, the fan noise is quite significant. So I think especially if you're doing something like an interview or something like that, running this as a video light I think is probably not the best thing to do. You have your standard fittings here. So this is obviously for to go on your spigot for your light stand, and then you can by tightening that, and then you can lift that out if you want to tuck the handle away anywhere, no worries, and then that just screws down onto your spigot. Okay, the LCD, okay, very nice and bright. Okay, just turns on here like so. Keep your finger on for a couple of seconds and it illuminates, gives you a beep for audio confirmation that it's on, and then you have different modes. We're going to go through the menu systems in a minute, but this is just to show you easy how to turn it on, and then you have your power. Again, I'll go through how the power works in just a minute when we're a bit closer up on the unit. There's a couple of things that I do have just to as like accessories. Oh, let me just grab this one. This is a reflective hood, and again it is about Bowen's mount, so that just clips in like so, and then you have this nice little reflector here for your for the flash. And what you do get with in the flash, oh excuse me, I have to reach over to grab the bag. Let's just put that there for a minute. What you do have, because on the front of this unit, okay, on the front of this unit, what you'll notice, you've got 4 tiny little magnets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have a few little filters, and they just simply go on there. There you go. And if you want to create any effects or whatever with greens, with orange, with you got a diffusion one there, and like a yellowish orange kind of one there. So yeah, there you go. But that's, you can, and then there's a spare one here, so I guess you can make your own if you have just the gel that you want to use, you can take that one off, put gel over the front, and then just put that blank one over to hold the gel in place. So yeah, awesome. Okay, let's check out. Oh no, and there is another thing that I have, another accessory that I'm using, and that is the snoot. Okay, now what is a snoot? Let me just take that one off. Now a snoot is something like this, and what it does, again, it's Bowen's mount, so all we do is just introduce that, give it a twist, clicks into place, all well and good. Now a snoot, as you can imagine, it's got this tiny little opening here, so all of the power of the flash is directed into this very concentrated beam here, and it works absolutely beautifully if you want to have the strobe nice and high and you just want to create effects where you've got like a single beam of light coming down across a face, across a body part, and you can fine-tune the direction of that even more by placing this honeycomb grid over the front. Okay, and further along the same lines as the main flash that I showed you just now. Grab the bag again because I didn't have it all on my desk. There are some little gels that you can use. Here we go. Oop, crikey, I'll drop those two. Okay, so there's a blue one, you can see. So all we need to do, if we want to create an effect with the blue, we've got our honeycomb. We just put that inside like so. So that's now inside where the honeycomb is, and then that goes over the comb, and now there we go. So there's your blue gel being shone right at your peepers, and that is obviously if I wanted to create some kind of special effect with that, I can do so by using different filters in there, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so let's take a look at the Westcott FJ400 menu system. To turn the system on, you quite simply hold down the power button here for a second or two. Okay, you'd have heard that audio confirmation, and you have this green LED to show you that the system is now working and functional. Straight away you're going to notice the large display area here, okay, where you have all of the information and the menu structure down here on the right hand side. Alright, so the main part of the window is taken up by showing you the mode settings. So in this case we're on manual mode, indicated by the M. You have your channel setting and your group setting, along with the synchronization mode that you're currently in, which is in this instance high speed flash. Okay, next to that main pane you have four little buttons here that correspond with your menu selection option and your three different sub menus within each one of those menu options. From there you have a central jog dial, okay, as well as a set button and your test fire button, which is also this green LED here. Okay, so to start at the top, what have we got? We have our we're in menu 1. It's showing us the mode, and to access the mode we just simply press down that button there to show you how it turns now to TTL. It's marked here, and you have your TTL settings that you would then set by using the set and your spin dial here. All right, let's go back to high speed sync. Okay, sorry, to manual. Okay, your sync speed or your sync model or your sync mode, sorry. Your sync mode is then indicated by the second option within the menu, and you access that by tagging that button there, and you'll see it went from high speed sync to this option which is called freeze, and you have certain parameters that are outlined there, and I'm going to go through this in a moment with you. And then third off on your sync you have normal. Okay, so let's check out what this freeze option is. Now by default you have this T0.5 menu option loaded, and you'll see that it's showing you a shutter speed of 1/600th of a second. Okay, now what does that mean? Now if some people work with like strobists, when you're working with a flash gun that normally or with a flash unit that sits on top of the camera, what you would normally associate a flash with is like flash duration time. So this at full power, which is on the scale of 9.0 is full power, that duration of flash is equal to 1/600th of a second. Okay, if I was to film the flash firing and slow it all the way down, the actual time of illumination would have a duration, and that duration is equal to 1/600th of a second. All right, now watch what happens as I reduce the power of the strobe. What you'll see is as I come down each decimal spot, okay, that effective shutter speed or the flash duration is speeding up. So if you were in a darkened room and you were just using the flash to stop the speed of whatever it was that you were photographing, okay, you would see that by coming all the way down and using less power on your strobe, all the way down to 1, you are then actually setting an effective shutter speed of light of 1/19,000th of a second. Okay, which is pretty awesome, especially in a controlled environment like a studio where you may want to do stop motion photography. There you go, boom, absolutely fantastic. So let's just power that back up to 9. Okay, and then TTL, you can either have it on or off. Okay, you can have shoot TTL on or off. Awesome. Okay, so let's check out menu number 2. On menu number 2, very simple, very self-explanatory. Here you can set your channel, and what you'll notice when you do hit that channel button, your channel indicator up here, which is now green, will illuminate with a white square around it, and you can change that simply by the jog dial that you have there. Okay, same with your group. Okay, A becomes illuminated. You can change it however you want to whichever group you want using the jog dial there. And this fourth one here is for Canon Artsy ID selection. Okay, which I haven't really gone into that, so I'm not really sure what it is, to be honest. Anyway, let's go on to menu number 3. So menu number 3, again, quite self-explanatory. You have in your first option, you have whether or not you wish to have an audio confirmation beep. So there you can turn that on or off. If you wish to have your optical sensor illuminated, okay, if you want to use this flash as a secondary flash, you have an optical sensor which is located just underneath the body of the flash, and what that will do is it will use the flash of another master flash as a trigger to set this flash in motion. Okay, so if you want to, what you'll notice is when you turn that on and off, if it's now off, which means this flash is going to work as a standard master flash. Okay, the minute that I turn that off, all of my information from my channel and group is going to disappear because I now actually am on the optical sensor. Okay, we'll put that back on, and then you have your modeling light, quite simply, that illuminates or turns off by a press of the button. Let's check out menu number 4. Okay, number 4. Now, this menu number 4, it relates to a feature of this strobe, which is called a masking feature. Now, if you do a lot of composite imaging with people, you may wish to shoot them in your studio and then composite them onto a different background in post-production. This whole feature, this whole menu here is dedicated to making that option become a very much simpler affair. Now, because I don't do anything like that at all, ever, I don't use it, so I don't really understand it that much, but what I will do, up in the right hand corner of your screen now, you'll see a link appearing, and that is a link to one of Westcott's official videos that goes to explain this whole feature in greater detail. So I'm not going to try and get myself into trouble by telling you something that may not be true. I am instead going to have a look at menu number 5. And menu number 5, right? This again, this allows you to do to lock your strobe. Again, you can notice here with the red icon of the strobe there, it just means that the strobe is now locked. If you want to set a delay, you can. Again, it's not something that I'm very familiar with, but here you can set delay here, and I believe that's down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, however many. Okay, that's good. You can turn that off. You hold that down for a second or so, and then it comes up, and then you can just change your setting by using the jog dial there, as we go. Cool. So we're going to turn that off. Awesome. Now, beyond menu 5, there is a hidden menu, and you access that by pushing and holding down the menu selection button. And what you'll notice here is you have a menu that you can set up to however it is that you want, should you be working predominantly with a very specific shooting manner. Okay, so you can set all of your menu exactly how you want it and you'll be good to go. Awesome. And to come out of there, we just hit the menu selection button again and we come back to our menu 1. So that is the menu options on the Westcott FJ400. To turn off, again, very simply, we just hit that button, power button, for a couple of seconds. You get the audio confirmation that it's turned off. Interface is now off and your little LED is no longer green. So everything's done. And one nice little feature on the back of the battery pack, okay, is this battery life illuminator. All you quite simply do is hit the little button underneath the LED array and you'll notice the LEDs light up to show you the level of the battery charge. Now obviously the lower the battery charge, the fewer LEDs light up, but we've got 4 LEDs showing. We have a full battery and we are good to go. Because I want to talk to you now about the trigger. This is the FJX2. This is the trigger that works with the FJ400. And just by holding down the menu button or the on button, there you see your interface. Now, this is awesome. Up until now, you've always had to use a dedicated flash trigger for a dedicated camera system. Not anymore. Look at this, look. This, I can decide if I'm shooting with my Canon. You'll see the Canon is noted at the top here. I can scroll through. I've got Nikon, I've got Sony, I've got Fuji, I've got Canon RT, Olympus, Lumix, and then back to Canon. So if I'm shooting with my EOS, I'll just put it on this one. That's awesome. If I was shooting with a Canon RT camera, then I'll just put it on there. Okay, or with a Sony. I do have a Sony, but that's normally for video. In fact, that's what's filming this one right now. And then for different, I can set channels. If I want to set my channel here, you have your roller in the middle. That is your selector, that's fine. And your sync, if I want to go front curtain, rear curtain, high speed. Okay. And then you just select your channel with the channel button down here, or your menu with your menu button down here. Here I can turn the light off or on, the modeling light. I can set the audible setting if I want it on or off, and also with TTL on or off. Right, hit the menu again, and then that just comes back to the initial menu. Okay, so it is very, very simple, very basic, but how awesome is it to be able to just click this center dial here, set your power. Oh, I forgot, I'm on my Sony. Select your Sony. How wild is that? There we go, so I'm back on my Canon. And whatever's green, you just scroll through the settings on that central jog button here, jog wheel. So yeah, very awesome. Use it with any camera you want, pretty much. Universal. How fantastic. And to turn off, just click and hold the power button until the LCD goes blank. Cool beans. So there it is, the Westcott FJ400. Up until now, my limited use, it is an awesome strobe. Hopefully I'll be getting quite a lot more use out of it in the years or months to come. Hopefully years, if it lasts that long. But you never know what happens on this amazing journey of photography. There could be something else comes out that grabs my fancy. And if possible, I will go ahead and grab that. But until then, sorry, I'll be using this and I'll be obviously trying to learn a little bit more about it. Like I said, early stages at the moment, but so far so good. It's treating me awesomely. Now, with regards to those two very special modes that I was saying, that is with regards to the freeze mode and the mask mode, I think it's actually much better if Westcott tell you themselves exactly how that all works. And you can check out videos from Westcott just up here. But apart from all of that, I think we are pretty good for today. So until the next time, guys and girls, please, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notifications bell just down there, and you'll get notified as and when new content is available from yours truly. So until that time, I will take a break. Pow!